What up? We are gonna react to HOI4 panel, which is in 4 minutes. A little special bonus stream, I want to call it here. I'm hoping it's interesting. I hope we gather information that's relevant. I hope something cool happens.
Welcome to 5 years of Hearts of Iron. Because apparently it's been 5 years now, which sounds a bit crazy, honestly.
5 years, actually crazy.
So I'm Dan. I'm the game director for Hearts of Iron.
This is like I'm in university because of content creators.
Now it's time for
Thank you for the sub,
No Step Back.
Rojo.
So we had a mission statement for No Step Back, which was focus on the Soviets, the Eastern Front, and refreshing land warfare. And,
nice. They're taking
I'm gonna go over
extra time.
some of the features, not all of them.
Here you go. Look at the colors; they're so sick.
What you can see color-wise here is that it's sort of projecting how good the supply flow outwards is, and the red areas indicate areas of supply problems. This is actually from a bug report, but so normally I'm not out of supply.
Dude, I love this color scheme here. I will make a car like this.
The way the system works,
it looks like fucking with someone's capital is even more hardcore now. It was always hardcore.
You can use trucks as well, and of course you have to have convoys when there's naval routes.
Use trains and trucks. Do I need to build them, or?
We wanted supply to be fun and interactive, something you actually planned out ahead of time, rather than
do I need to build a train
that
now?
happened to you, which in the old game it was more of a, oh no, I have a supply problem, what do I do?
Well, you press F4 and build infrastructure in the weirdest fucking place in the world. That's what you do.
What can I do to prepare for the supply situation that will happen when I attack this country, for example? Building up the railways leading into China.
Wrong, he doesn't know the meta. TommyKay Japan told you the meta. You build a level 10 port right here, I don't know how this is called, east of Beijing, because then the supply doesn't go in here. No, the supply goes in here. Why would you care about the infrastructure and railways in Korea and Manchukuo if you could make just a level 10 port here and bring the supply straight up here with convoys in Hebei?
It's also kind of interesting.
Yes, learn from the best boys. Oh damn!
You can see a bit here of the construction map mode, and you can see our work in progress train. You'll see a real train soon, but we haven't put those into the actual game yet. But you can see it snaking across Italy here.
So you build,
these are dynamically spawned based on
that's
how
fucking
much supply
sick, dude.
people need, and when there's
weather can have significant impact on the ease of supply. Dude, I like this because it looks like there's two things. Either this is completely whatever. You just, yeah, here's my train, fuck off. Or it's really, really meta. I'm Germany, I go into Russia. What kind of train do I make? Should it be in the middle? Should it be up? What is in between? Will these people a bit of supply? Like, how does this all work? This is very interesting. I really like this.
No, like...
Oh, shit. Oh, railway guns.
There's a picture of a train. There's also a picture of a railway gun.
The Dankus Mimicus is going to make a railway all around the Russian river. He puts a railway gun on every tile, and then he acts like he's the best fucking Russian. There's regular train, war, austerity train, and armored train.
Like that. But they function a bit like a support unit, like you imagine naval bombardment and stuff like that.
Ah, their support. And, that's interesting. So if I have a railway gun close to battle, I get like plus 10% soft attack or something? That's sick, man.
But yeah,
damn.
Find out more about those in the future, though. And we have a bunch for different countries. Tank designer. Do you want to give a pitch, Gabriel? This is your baby.
Yeah, it is my baby. And I mean, we wanted to sort of expand on what we did with the ship designer, make you care more about your tanks, and since tanks are a lot easier to get into the field, you actually see the results. I think one thing holding back the ship designer a bit is this. Okay, I made a new battleship. Now it's going to take 3 years to actually see it in action.
He fucking gets it.
I don't have that problem with tanks.
Oh, he's shitting on you,
yeah,
Dan.
Basically, you have
he's telling you your fucking ships are trash, bro. Oh, I made a battleship. Can't wait to build that. By the time I fucking finish my battleship, the game is fucking over. Everybody has nukes. Oh shit, that was savage, man. That was savage.
Our QA Victor has certainly had a lot of fun with that.
Oh, not only him, not only him. We all had some nice, like we had our own little make your favorite tank day almost, where everyone posted their ones. They were a lot of soft attack.
Yeah, I've seen them.
Fixed them.
Yeah, no,
it was broken. That was for sure. They had too much soft attack.
It's like, I love my great war.
Obviously, you have to test that shit. This is going to be ultra broken. People in multiplayer will come up with such broken tanks.
Sure it couldn't move.
That's what I want to do.
Had zero reliability.
I want to play like New Zealand and make like the most broken light tank ever.
Because what to say, we also reworked reliability a bit to make it more important. Broke up the 40 with meta. not just with the tank designer, but with other stuff as well.
I like how they use the word meta now.
No giant techniques.
I remember 2019 they did use the word meta a lot.
Stress. All right, I'm gonna go pretty fast on these because of time. We have revamping Poland, historical.
Yeah, to me that only matters because of achievements. What kind of achievement do we have to do with Poland, right? That's the question.
Well.
Maybe Finland is too OP already.
States, which is
the Baltics.
Estonia, Latvia, and Lithuania are right there on the eastern front. And
yeah, they are.
These are similar to the Chinese warlords in that they share part of their trees, but they all also have individual stuff.
As a multiplayer guy,
and of course,
make a screenshot.
If you weren't suspecting it, well, it's here.
This is the old one.
Rework. As you
the fourth international. Old Trotsky is back.
It's work in progress. We're not really ready to show it yet.
It's gonna be very based on Road to 56, I think.
Happy up there on the right. I'm not sure.
I'm pretty sure that's a placeholder art. That's
he shaved his beard off.
That's the Indian.
You can probably
make
say
Trotsky win Russia, but still get an X by Mexico or something. Well. And it's going to be called the Ice Pick Returns or some shit. Yeah, Finland is not getting a rework, it looks like.
Come and save everybody, right?
That's actually a bit sad, right?
I strongly believe
Finland.
From an industry.
Maybe it's still happening, but I feel like this is it. Who's on the right though? Yeah, Stalin, Trotsky, and then I would guess democracy and the Tsar. I would guess. I think the Gabriel guy seems like he knows a shit ton about World War II. He must watch my stream a lot.
I'm sure you will keep asking every week, but we want to show it when it's more complete. All right. Here's a smaller thing I wanted to bring up. People have noticed weird hat icons in the top bar a little bit on our screenshot leaks. So one thing that we're doing that I said was going to free up you some more research spots and stuff like that is that doctrines now have a different system when you buy them with experience instead. Or in fact, we reworked experience generation quite a lot. It's one of those things that scares Daniel as a QA person. And we wanted to shift it away from being so combat dependent because there was a huge gap between new players and people who knew how to exploit the XP generation system in combat. And it never felt very right that you had to play like badly to get more XP and stuff like that.
So I always said this for years. I think Dan Lind watches streams, not only mine, and he sees what's wrong. He just said it. You saw it all the time in the new community, in the new meta, where people just do dumb shit to get infinite XP, because we need to. We have to do that.
Like farming and stuff. Like, how dare you?
He pays attention, dude. He pays attention.
I mean,
does Fox UK in France, though? Yeah, how do you get XP as UK in France?
Also, if you haven't noticed, the XP icon is green now.
Military changes around the future.
Make it easier.
Big impact on research. XP generation is reworked, though. XP generation is reworked, though.
All right, and there's of course more.
Well, they were working it.
This, right?
We don't have enough information. We don't know.
There's a whole bunch more stuff, and we will be showing that off in Dev Diaries until release, basically. And now the future. So this is a summary of stuff. I think everybody knows we will be reworking Italy probably.
It's like he's listening. It's like he's listening, dude.
Not in this DLC, but in the future.
Not in this DLC, obviously, no.
Dude, the future of HOI4 is bright. We're getting more DLCs. HOI4 is alive. I mean, the player count's almost 100k. This is so cool, man.
Squeeze it in some other expansion.
Smaller DLCs and patches.
Sure, why not? To give it the proper
Scandinavian
rework,
DLC, so Middle Eastern DLC, South America DLC.
Roman Empire or
bro, I'm in.
So it needs that.
That means we have a future. Major Pine Point piece. It's like he listens to the stream here. So I know something else though. I'm not gonna shut my mouth, but I talked to Dan Lind in Twitter DMs, and I know something else they're planning, but I'm not gonna say shit. But there might be something else coming next year. Yes, TommyKay becomes a Siamese general. Finally, I wanted it. If you play Siam, I am a 1-1-1 infantry leader of Siam.
A lot of them. We do look for like some of the more popular countries, of course. Like
I always really enjoyed Scandinavia on HOI4. It's just set there for focuses in vanilla.
Right?
But Scandinavia is so cool in single player. But Middle East, isn't there? Yeah, okay. Afghanistan, Iran, Saudi Arabia, Abdulaziz. Yeah, I see it. I see it. I don't see them have big impact in the game, but I see it. Yeah, I see it.
When you make them
like I always liked Iran and HOI4.
Like
or maybe something with Israel. You can
a lot nicer content.
Maybe that's too edgy, right? But you can bring Israel back or some shit. Yeah, I feel like they're doing great. We always like to shit on people, right? I mean, I got nicer. HOI4's doing great. Multiplayer is okay. The skill level is down a lot. Players, HOI4 International, new DLCs. It's
like improving on
5 years later. HOI4 is still a big thing, and it's wow. Well, it makes me proud even to be part of this.
Future then. We have some questions.
Oh, here we go.
So I posted on Twitter about this.
Oh, he's not reading chat. Clever.
So, have you ever thought about doing
Thank you.
World War I content?
I mean, I have definitely.
Are they planning something here, chat? Are they playing World War I Hearts of Iron?
Essentially, make an entirely separate scenario.
But you guys used to do that back then.
A grand campaign because no one can be expected to make a focus tree that lasts like what 30 years.
Thank you, Luca. Thank you, guys. I want to watch this.
For long term, in a HOI5 is actually have a game that spans from like the start of World War I to the early.
I like this Gabriel guy. This Gabriel guy is cool, man.
You know,
he knows what the fuck he's talking about.
Play through World War I, and then from
Hearts of Iron 5, World War I to World War II. Imagine the day Hearts of Iron 5 releases, man. We might hit 20k viewers, man.
Would have to be set up for that to work properly.
I will go all out, man. I will invite Shaquille O'Neal, fucking Angela Merkel, we'll play together.
So I guess that's the second question. How long do you guys plan to support HOI4 for making HOI5?
I mean, it doesn't.
A great future awaits us. Yeah,
we don't have to stop making HOI4 before we start thinking about HOI5. I think Dan and I and other people on the team have had once we make HOI5, we should do it like this instead of like that conversations for years now. You know, it's Friday, 4 p.m. We're done with the week, and it's like, wouldn't it be cool if we solved this problem properly in a sequel?
Oh, we've been talking about that since before release of HOI4. I'm the one for like in HOI5, no provinces. If you want to like grab land, you like mark it on the map and like do your borders that way. That would have been so beautiful.
Question to both of you guys: out of all the focus trees, which are your favorite and maybe your least favorite as well? It doesn't have to be super specific. It could be nostalgia or
the South African focus tree in particular. The communist branch was the first one I made. Like, I think it was the Wednesday of the week when I started, when the other content designer on the team went like, "Hey, can you just take a look at South Africa, see what you can come up with?"
There's more guys working on HOI4.
Like,
it's interesting to see Gabriel. I never knew he existed. 5 years HOI4, man. I'm the biggest HOI4 content creator. I didn't even know he existed, man.
I'm very happy with how that really cool guy.
I forgot South Africa tree existed.
I always go like, oh, you know, the thing I actually ended up making isn't the thing I had in mind when I started. So I always see how the focus tree could have been better. If I had to point out a single one, I think the Japanese communist branch was a cool idea that didn't work out at all.
Yeah, nobody plays that.
Like, maybe Gabriel should leave first before I say my favorite one, but I would pretty much say my favorite one, just because of all the memories I have, is the generic one.
That's a good answer, bro. That's a fucking good answer.
Mainly because of my great memory of coming into Paradox. I was
That's a fucking deep answer, because you have to understand, when HOI4 was new and all your kids weren't around yet, we had only generic focus trees. I would be playing Greece and Sweden all day on generic focus tree, and I loved it, man. I didn't care. I loved it. Generic focus tree, man. I played that a lot, man.
I think it was like 45%. Like, my least favorite one, I'm probably with a lot of other people.
Italy.
Sorry, Italy. You're outdated. You need some work, but
yeah.
I mean, I don't think it
he's like,
super fair considering.
I think we're running out of time. I just want to ask one final question from a guy on Twitter here. What do you guys think the new division meta will look like?
I can tell you what division meta I'm worried about. What I'm worried about is that we end up with like heavy tanks, max armor, no engine, heavy machine gun as main armament, and then 40 width or 45 width or whatever they end up being. Yeah.
He's talking about Decus Municus.
We have.
Heavy tank. Gabriel knows what the fuck's going on. The heavy tanks are going to be broken, man. A stationary heavy tank that doesn't move is going to protect LMA to death, then.
I don't know.
One of the first nations to try is really South Africa.
Yeah,
design a South African heavy tank that has no engine, doesn't move, and just sits in LMA, right?
But I think we're out of time.
No leaks. Whoa.
Sadly, no. I mean, maybe some leaks. Who knows? I leaked the expansion name actually on Twitter the day before recording this. but nobody spotted it, which I thought was funny. So,
oh, thank you, SGP, man. Nobody spotted it.
This was fun to reminiscence about
lack of cast
stuff.
should make you die to cast. We will see. Like I said, the tank designer is going to be sick, but people in multiplayer will break it easily.
And we also have a panel later, I think on the Sunday, for some more direct Q&A on Discord as well.
It says
so
now is the Q&A.
Viewers there as well.
The Q&A will continue on Discord.
Hey guys.
So that was it? I thought now is the Q&A. Dankus Mimicus just asked a question on Discord. 1 sec, I'm trying to figure this out, guys. I want to be very... I don't want to deal any drama here, because you guys are just idiots. Oh my god, Dankus Mimicus. So there's a channel where people can ask questions, and it's just Dankus trying to be a memer, and it gets instantly deleted. Ah, okay, here we go. This is the Q&A right now. He's getting questions, and then he answers them. Okay. What's your favorite mechanic in HOI4? The new tank designer. What is planned for Baltic of the Soviet Union, the new DLC? And are you going to be mainly focusing on historical focus on Russia, blah, blah, blah? You will have to wait a bit for diaries. Are there any plans for expanding the importance of tactics? Yes, we're looking into expanding the potential impact of tactics. How will the new tank designer impact the AI's tank strategy? The AI has lists of templates that it will try to create. These are recreative, so it knows that it has to up-armor its tanks, blah, 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 blah. How do tanks bonuses work? If the treaty refuses all Germany gives me an artillery research bonus for the gun or only chassis. The treaty with the USSR actually gives you bonuses to medium tank chassis research. But if you already have basic chassis researched, it will give you full designs for the Panzer III and Panzer IV. It also gives the Soviets design. What? Beyond that? Okay, what? Will Paradox encourage modding communities with beta support, prizes, or even cooperation? We already do a fair amount of that. A lot of time I spent on it, and we help modders with issues, etc. regularly. With the confirmation of no finished tree, will the winter work, continuation work, get any expanded content? We will tackle that. There you go, Tony. Dear developers, so I want to ask regarding AI frontline bunching. The phenomenon when a bunch of unnecessary divisions sucking up the supply in the frontline and disturbing your plans. Very, very good question. Will the issue be addressed in Barbarossa? Very good question. And you saw it with me and Fabian playing Kaiserreich. The AI comes to your frontline and attritions you, right? It's a ridiculous problem. As part of the new supply system, we are making changes to the AI so that it's able to use the new system. Along with this, we are also looking at various issues with the AI and improvements we can do as we do this rework. As we are currently in the middle of this, I'm afraid, yeah, most of the answers are just we don't know yet. When you design focus trees, what's your source of information while building them? Also, great question, man. Which country was the most challenging in the past? Is there any country that you push back in time because it's hard to tell? For me personally, and when possible, I like to read some history books about the country I'm going to work on beforehand, and then I spend quite some time doing as thorough research as possible. I always try to pry on local sources from the countries I'm researching when possible. Fucking, that's cool. So far, I've been lucky that I've been able to at least barely understand the languages I've researched. I'd say that the more you research about a country, the more ideas that come to mind and the easier it is to make a storyline. For Bulgaria, for example, it was quite interesting to read about all that political and social struggle, as well as the... they really researched that stuff. Will strategic relocation option be enabled on railways and not everywhere? We're looking into that. They don't know yet. Okay. Will you change anything multiplayer related? Yes. I think I know what it's gonna be. I can't say though. I think I know what it's gonna be, bro. Will there be any way for landlocked nations to get convoys to use for their rivers? You don't need convoys for rivers, they have some off-map abstraction. As we know, Russians have different track size than other countries. Will this influence supply? There's a cooldown on taking over enemy railroads. We might give the Soviets a national split that increases that time. Ah. Oh, my question has been answered. This is my question. Who do you guys work or contract for the lobby pictures of each DLC? They are always top-notch. I wonder which artists to give credit. We actually make most of the art in-house. Damn, you guys have good artists then. On occasion, we have hired freelance artists, but the vast majority are made by the 2D artist on the team. Or sometimes an artist from another part of the company comes in by and says, hey guys, I would like to make a loading screen for HOI4. Is there a fun theme or event that you like to work with? And then the work begins. Okay. Well, Daniel's in here. Daniel, can I ask you a question here, or is that awkward about the new DLC? Can't answer everything, but shoot. I was just wondering, Daniel, you do not have to research doctrines anymore. We used to have 4 doctrines in the game for land battles. These are now gone from research. They are now to be done with experience, as it seems 100 experience. Right? Right, I think that's confirmed. That changes... Did you guys consider how that changes the research meta? which is not a bad thing. It just shows me, I'm a guy that loves playing minors at the moment, right? I play them all the time. Chat is always mad. When you are a minor in vanilla, in your base game, you always, the number's not set yet, but yeah, use XP. Yeah, and here's the point. It's not really a question, it's just like a thought I have. That means you never ever, as a minor, have to research doctrines, which opens a research slot for the rest of the game for something else. That's actually really beautiful, right? So, Daniel is saying, we got tank designer and naval designer now, so I felt like we needed something to clear up some slots. Yeah, and it will help minors. I'm also happy about that. And also the final thing I want to say, Daniel, because you're actually listening to me right now, I'm very proud of you guys, and I have a lot of respect. That chart you guys showed how you almost peaked 900k players. It is a great thing, and I'm very honored to be part of the HOI4 community, man. We live in an era where battle royale games, FPS, are big, and a game like HOI4 keeps up. And wow, nothing but respect to the team, man. It's growing because of people like you. No, that would be very arrogant to say. I think influencers like me and Bocker and stuff have influence. But if these people wouldn't make these games, I wouldn't be here today. So it would be very arrogant to be like, ooh, such a big influence. A World War II simulator stays relevant in nowadays age where everybody plays Call of Duty. It's crazy, man.